Extracts functionality. Here we are on the CALPADS home screen, and let's go take a look at the extract. So in the left navigation, there's a direct link to the extracts. And for the most part, we have the different type of extracts available to us. Supporting report extracts, ODS extracts, SSID extracts, replacement SSIDs, direct certification extracts, SPED discrepancy extracts, and District of Special Education accountability extracts. Now, since the post redesign of April 2022, the SPED discrepancy extract is not functioning. So at the time of this recording, this button still is in CALPADS, but it will not render any results. So here in the user manual, we went to discrepancy extract under known issues, and there's an outstanding known issue 6169 that's affecting the SPED discrepancy extract. So again, at the time of this recording, the SPED discrepancy extract does not operate as designed. However, in a perfect world, the SPED discrepancy extract will show you the discrepancy between your SED system and your student information system. So going back over here to the left, beginning with the supporting reports extracts, we can expand the list, and you can see that similarly, you can expand the list and you see that the name or the title of reports are listed here. These are reports that have a lot of data and are slow to render, or for some reason have caused some trouble in the past. Or they may simply just be high profile reports and you need an alternative way of getting the data out of CALPADS. So if you click any of the links, it brings you to the filter options for the extract. As you can see, we have an X here. You have your LEA. You have to check the status or select the status because it's a report extract. Okay. I will select a single school. And then you have all the filter options that are available to you on the report. So if you wanted to narrow down the results, you can do that just like a report. Then you have to request the extract. You can see that there's a note right here above the retrieval and at the top of the screen. Extract request made successfully. Please check back later for download. So it takes a couple minutes for the extract to render, okay, or to generate. Once your extract has generated, a download button will become available, and there should be a file size. If you should ever see a file size with 0 data or 0 bytes of data, no megabytes, no kilobytes, you've generated a blank extract. So think about your selection criteria and your filter options. So for instance, there are end of year supporting reports. If I've submitted no data for one of the data collections and I try to select a report for end of year, right now it's currently fall 2, which precedes end of year, I may have no data and I may not generate any extracts. Or if I'm filtering for a data set that does not exist in my data, I may generate an extract with 0 bytes. So that's an indication. Every extract has to first be generated or requested and then retrieved. It's a 2-step process: request, then retrieve. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only action you'll ever have is to download. Job ID is kind of a archive title. You used to be able to select extracts based on job submissions. Since the post redesign, that's not available. You have extract type. That's generally the title or the name of the extract. The file name, you can name your extract. You may have multiple versions of a single type of extract, so you can name them for some of the extracts. The status, so you can see that we're in queue. Some have failed previously, and those that generate are in complete status and available for download. You have the requester name, the date requested, the date created, an error message if there is one, and then of course file size, letting you know how large your extract is. So you can see after several minutes, our extract has downloaded. Now, I specifically picked an extract that has no student data so that we can show you what it looks like. So you can see my extract is downloading. It's now available. So I'm just going to open it and bring it in front of you. So this is what an extract looks like. It seems like a jumbled mess, right? Here you can see the basic structure of the extract. You can see the title of the table names because it's a report. You can see the caret. This up arrow is called a caret. That's our delimiter. That's what would separate the data into columns if we were to put it in an Excel table. And so if you were having trouble rendering a report in CALPADS, you can extract this file, or you can request an extract of that report, and then you can import this extract into Excel and then view it in a tabular format that way. And that's true of all extracts. So that's your supporting reports. So moving on to ODS extracts. ODS extracts allow you to pull data from the CALPADS ODS by record type. So you can see student enrollment, SENR, course section completion, CRSE, course section enrollment, CRSE, so on and so forth. Let's again choose an extract that has no student data. Let's choose course. So all ODS extracts again have filter options. Depending on the type of extract, they may change. For the course, you can select all courses or individual courses. You have your academic year. So let's go back to 21-22. And then here's the ability to name and title your individual extract. And we will request file. And again, you can see the retrieval process. We have to wait for retrieval. So as you can see, waited a few minutes and our course section enrollment ODS download has completed. And we'll complete the step 2 of the process by downloading the extract. And so there's only 2 kilobytes of data. So that tells me the extract request didn't perform as I would have liked, or it's very small. So this is the entire course data for that single school. So these are all the courses. And so the extract is very small. Some extracts, you just scroll and scroll and scroll in Notepad. So we're opening them in Notepad. But this is great. So what we want to point about extracts is you can see the record type here, CRSE, but it's also a -R. So the extracts all come out, the ODS extracts in particular, all come out with the file type of that record or the record type with a -R. They all have this caret delimiter. So when you see 2 carets like this, that means this is a blank data field. Because I'm familiar with this file specifications or the structure of the record type, this blank field is the transaction type, right? So that's what that field is. And then you can see a delimiter between each of the data sets. Some ODS extracts end with 2 fields that are not in the record type. They can be date and time stamps. That's something to be aware of, and we'll show you what to do if that's the case later on in the training. So, that's what that extract would look like. So let's move on from ODS extract, and they're all the same. They're very similar. They're coming from data that's in the CALPADS ODS that you have submitted. So if we look at other filters, a common extract is the SSID enrollment ODS extract. If you're looking to extract by enrollment records, and you have 2 options, active student or date range. You can select a specific school or some schools or all the schools, and then you name your file, and then you would request the file. So there are some variation in extracts from time to time. Student information, ODS extract, is consistent with the enrollment, same filter options, and would be a two-step process as well. So let's go on to SSID extract. Now, the purpose of the SSID extract is to provide you a list of students and certain fields relevant to initial enrollment within your district. So an indication of if that student is a student with disability, the English language acquisition status, just those primary fields that will help you complete the initial enrollment record or help you match a student. Well, this is after a student has been matched, is when you request an SSID extract. If you request a new SSID and you can't identify that student in the CALPADS UI, you can find that data from an SSID extract. We'll show you an example of how it works. You have to select a date range. There used to be with the SSID request extract or the request SSID extract, you can do it by job ID. That functionality is no longer supported. So you have to use the date range. That's the only option. We'll select a small school, so we have a small file. Now, there's a bit of nuance with the dates. You cannot, for start date, select today's date. You could do a date prior and today's date as the end date, but there has to be that gap. So let's demonstrate if we use today's date and request. And you see we get this error. So if you're looking for students that were recently enrolled or you just requested SSIDs for them, choose the date prior and today's date. So it's not limiting. This is not a limiting factor. Any students enrolled on these dates, whether their enrollment started previously in the academic year, if they have an enrollment on these dates, their SSID information are going to return for the selected school. So that's something to keep in mind. So once your extract is requested, you can filter that extract to find out the more recently requested SSIDs or obtained SSID. And so if we go back to the CALPADS user manual and you go to what's new, post-process, scroll down, SSID assignment and post-process redevelopment, and sorting for new SSIDs using the SSID extract. So this is the video you're going to want to see if you need information about sorting SSID from that SSID request extract, okay? This is the training. So here we have the SSID extract. We have to scrunch it down and change the data so that it's not a representation of any students. But you can see information about the district here on the left, first, column of data prior to the caret. After the caret delimiter, you would see information about the school. Then the student's SSID in the extract, information about their name, and then enrollment start date, SSID request date, their grade level, their English language acquisition, indication if they're a student with disability, of course, so on and so forth, right? Just very minimal data. Again, some extracts are in this same format, extend beyond the size of the notepad page screen. So just to, give you a view of what the extract would look like, okay? And they're all consistent. Every extract, we're just going over these different types to show you that they all come out in this caret delimited format. Don't save. Okay, so then we have replacement SSID extracts. And this time, we're not going to make a request, just solely want to show you the functionality. We know that it's a two-step process. And you can see that the filter options are the same. And the request Replacement SSIDs are an extract that is provided after you have made mid combinations. When you combine SSIDs, because you have a mid, and that's, if you don't know, it's an anomaly for when a single student has multiple SSID, you combine those records into a single record. One of those SSID has to become retired. So this allows you to find the replacement SSID in case your SSID is retired so that you can update your local records. And so that's the replacement SSID extract. And then before we go to direct certification, we'll talk about, again, I want to reiterate the SPED discrepancy extract. The purpose of the extract is to allow for reconciliation between your local systems, your SEDS, which submits student with disability program and service data to CALPADS, as well as your SIS, your student information system, which submits all the other data related to your students with disability, their enrollment, their demographics. And so sometimes those two systems have different demographic information. And so CalPADS only uses that comes from the student information system, but it allows you to reconcile that data between the two systems. And then you have your District of Special Education Accountability Extracts. There's two different ones. You have your accountability extract and your informational extract. And so you can see that the filter options are consistent. And so, and it's only by LEA, not by school. District of Special Education Accountability Extract allows you to identify students that you're accountable for. Sometimes students receive services and education through different entities, county offices, school districts, SELPA organizations. How they receive their services and who's responsible for those services, or who is accountable for those services, isn't always easily identified. And so that's the purpose of this extract. So there are a couple extracts that have alternate paths of navigation. So one is the direct certification extract. So let's look at that here. So we have the active student and date range, right? We'll just select these. You have your different statuses. So if you want to filter for a specific status or exclude those students who are not certified, you can do that. The certified since date is you're getting a list of students who have all been certified since. So if you want it just this month, typically the direct certification match pool would happen on the 2nd. So the first of the month would be good. If you wanted the list for the entire year, it's always best to go back to 1 July, the start of the new year. And you can request the file. Now, while we wait for this file to generate, let's show you the other path of navigation. If you go to online maintenance, direct certification. Okay, so here we are on the direct certification screen. You can see an indication of the last direct certification run. And then you have filter options. These filter options have nothing to do with the extract. They're for this table down below, in which you can see we falsified student names to protect their privacy. Okay, we're not going to talk about direct certification extract functionality. That's not the focus here. What we are going to talk about is this path of navigation to the direct certification extract. So if you were to click this button, you can extract, or you can request an extract within this little module or modal, just like you would on the extract screen. Okay, so for direct certification, and that's for those of you who don't know, is the automatic matching that is provided from the state for students enrolled in your LEA. The matching identifies them. So now there's one more extract, and we have to go to online maintenance to show you where that is. And so the SSID matching tool is in fact an extract. though it does have a bit of a different format. And what the SSID matching tool allows is for you to generate a list of matching SSIDs. So students enroll into your district, you don't have their SSIDs, you submit their demographic information in an enrollment file or SSID request file. And this tool will produce potential matches for you. It gives you a list of candidates based on your demographic information. You would then take that extract from CALPADS and submit it to your student information system if the functionality is supported, and select your candidate. If not, you will need auxiliary tools to assist in identifying the students. And that's something as simple as Excel, because this particular extract does come out with headers. It was designed to be used to help you identify potential match candidates. And so on this screen, the filter options, again, have nothing to do with the extract. You're just filtering for your results. This is live data. I'm not going to pull a results file, because if I did, you would see real student information. So let's hop over to our test environment, but I think we have previously submitted data in the test environment that I might be able to pull for you. We didn't submit a file, but we've previously submitted a file, and we have training on this functionality as well. We have 4 total records, so let's try to pull this file out so you can get a view of it. And so here is that match results extract. You can see, again, it's character delimited, but you do see headers. It's hard to see in this format here. And when we show you the tools section of this training, we'll show you how to import these extracts in this character delimited format so that we can see it in an Excel table. And that makes it a whole lot easier to use and view. However, we do want to show you what it looks like. It's a little bit different in structure than what you would see with the ODS extract, for example, because primarily there's a heading. And that's because this extract was designed for use, because you're selecting match candidates. And so, because we're not going over this functionality extensively, we just want to show you the extract component and detail it, show you where to find it. So back here at the user manual, under what's new, SSID match tool, there's a description, video, details, mapping about functionality. Great resource for you. So if you want to learn how to use the match tool and to use that extract here, and then of course we'll click directly. If you're familiar with the Figmat CSIS YouTube training channel, this training SSID match tool is available to you. And there's a complete training based on that match tool, and it talks about the extract as well. So that concludes the demo of functionality and navigation for extracts. At this point, you should know how to get to your extracts. You should have an understanding of the different type of extracts and the data within. We hope to tell you in the next portion of this training how to use the extracts and how to maximize the value of the data that you're pulling out of CALPADS.